Creators Corner.
Yeah, I said it and I meant it.
And the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high.
Welcome on another episode of Creators Corner. I'm your host, James Dale, and today with me is the beautiful songstress, Ysanne.
Ysanne.
Yes. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Heaven has blessed us with talent, with health, with abundance.
Yes.
So I have to be thankful for the Most High.
Absolutely. I like the fit too.
Thank you. You know, I like to be happy. You know, that's what the Buddha is for.
Yes.
You know, fat and happy. You have to be. You know, whether it's physically fat or emotionally fat or spiritually fat, we all got to be fed to give off to other people.
Yeah.
That's why we are here.
Yes.
Because we are in abundance, and when your cup runneth over, that's when you share to other people.
Absolutely.
So tell me just a little bit about yourself.
So I am a jazz singer. I've been singing for my whole life, writing since I was 9 years old in terms of like lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
My parents have blessed me and exposed me to a lot of the arts. So with that in my adult life, I've been able to now full-time be a singer, a teaching artist, and a yoga instructor as well.
Okay.
So it's a quick little synopsis of what I do, I guess.
That's beautiful. So is there any event that attracted you to writing, or were you musically inclined by your family?
The first, I guess, spark that I got was when I heard Have You Ever by Brandy.
Okay.
And I was transitioning from a private school to a public school and had this big crush on a kid. And I felt her song really told how I felt. Like, how does she know that that's how I feel right now?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to connect with people through songwriting. And from there, it just took its own life, you know?
That's good. So do you songwrite just for yourself, or have you ghostwritten for other artists?
I've mostly wrote for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really, I think, had the opportunity to like collaborate in the last couple of years. I've been able to fully dedicate myself. So I've been getting more opportunities to work with more creatives and musicians. I solidified a band now.
That's cool.
So a lot of things, like you said, an abundance is coming. So
what's the name of your band?
So it's Ysanne and the Lotus Blues.
Ysanne and the Lotus Blues, like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes.
Yeah, but when did that come about? What prompted you to start your own band?
I was getting a lot of gigs, and I do like to have live musicians instead of instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a different energy to the live performance. Mm-hmm. It's like communicating with people you enjoy playing and jamming out with.
Mm-hmm.
So having musicians that inspire me is important, and it helps with my growth development, because I still have musician goals for myself to just connect deeper with music so I can connect deeper with my community.
That's awesome. I like that. You know, I am a music connoisseur, and I like reggae music. I don't think I've ever been to a concert outside of reggae music, and I know within my spirit that when I go to these concerts and I, see an artist and they have a live band, it does something. It evokes a spirit inside you, and you move differently to the music versus going to a club and hearing the record or the vinyl playing.
Yeah.
It just the percussion and the chords and the piano, everything is just different. So I commend you on doing that, because I know as an artist you are sensitive about your ish. Quoting Erykah Badu.
Yes.
And you want people to feel your music.
Yeah.
So you said what prompted you was a crush, right?
Yes,
So writing
initially
music.
in writing music, and then it had me be aware that I want to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just have this, abundance of like community in a way. Mm-hmm. And as I gotten older, I've appreciated and fell in love with music in different ways. Mm-hmm. You were saying reggae. There was I went to a reggae festival in Maine, of all places. Mm-hmm. And there was a group at the time named New Kingston. Okay. And I was just like, I fell in love with music again because it was a fusion between like jazz and reggae in some way. And I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm so glad I'm here. Mm-hmm. So, getting into music was, I didn't realize it at the time, because I'm young. But it was to connect with the community.
That's good. That's awesome. My older brother, he had a sound system called Renegade High Power back in the 80s. And I remember going with him to record shops and picking up dub plates and hearing about the history of reggae and the history of reggae, just like all other genres of music after jazz, they mimic their music from jazz. Mm-hmm. So the whole live band and the percussion and everything is due in part to jazz. So what made you gravitate to jazz specifically, other than any genre of music?
Well, I grew up with reggae, like old school reggae, because both my parents are Jamaican. Mm-hmm. So as I got older, I was exploring different musics, and I got accepted to the Greater Hartford of Performing Arts. Okay. So I majored in voice there, and I actually got accepted as a senior. So I feel like in some spaces I was a late bloomer to some things. Mm-hmm. I just always knew that music was something that I needed to do. And when I got in high school at the Greater Academy, I was just like, wow, like this plethora of music. Like, yes, I've heard jazz and everything, but like now it was like a little bit different in a studying way, and just like, wow, my vocal tones like really go well with this genre. So I'm like, this is it. Like, this is where I know that my voice sits and I can explore with different genres, in terms of my voice. So that's how I knew jazz is definitely where I wanted to gear towards. And then I had the beautiful opportunity to play Billie Holiday in a one-woman show. So, like, that study, right, was just like, wow. And it was a heavy show. Like, yes.
You're saying like, Billie Holiday made it heavy.
And just to research her, like, intimate story, and, like, that wasn't really spoken about. Yeah. And then even to just have the honor of singing Strange Fruit and how the song used to be banned. Yeah. And like
talking
she
about
was
slaves
handcuffed to like on her deathbed, she was handcuffed. Like, that's crazy to me. Mm-hmm. So like music was her escape, and like I connected with that so well. Because I didn't talk as much as a child, so like music was my escape. So connecting on that space with her was just an honor. It was an honor. Yeah.
It's amazing because art is something that for you, it gives you an opportunity to express yourself through music, and art is very therapeutic. When I was 11, my father passed away, and poetry was something for me to cope. That was a coping mechanism for me to get all of the emotions out and not keep it inside. That was my therapy. And I fell in love with poetry ever since. And going to the New Eureka Cafe and other open mics, I felt the energy and the attention that people have for the art form, whether it is poetry for myself or jazz singing for you. Whoever's in that room, they are there for a reason. They're there to have an experience. So when artists take an approach like you have, like you said that you did research before you actually went on stage, that means that you hone your craft and you love your craft and you take it very seriously. So when you go out there and perform, you are connecting with your audience and they have an experience, and that is something that is transformative. That's something that's therapeutic, and that's something that when people see that show and experience that show, they take something from it. And I'm sure after your performances, people touch your hand and they give you a good, deep look into your eyes and say that was very beautiful. You know, and then I know that has to feel awesome to you to know that you reach people in that sense, you know, and that motivates you to continue on. And music and creativity is something that everybody should experience. And if you are artistic, please, please, please don't shy away. Don't do art in the closet. If you are a songstress or a singer, do not just sing in your shower. Take it out on the road. There's plenty of open mics out there. So have you performed anywhere outside of New England?
Yes. Nothing too crazy yet. I'm like, I'm like, no, New Hampshire is Maine. I mean, is New England.
Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island,
listen,
Connecticut.
You never know. Sometimes we're like, what? Between the tri-states and then the New England, we're like, what is what? Aren't they all overlapping? Anyways.
Yeah.
California a really long time ago.
Okay.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Honestly, so that means I'll be outside again soon.
Yeah, book her.
Book me.
Yes.
Okay, please. Outside of New England and somewhere warm, actually. Okay, in Atlanta a few years ago, but it was more like showcase things, nothing like with my big band or anything. So that's what I'm looking towards.
You know what I like about your story? I like that the fact that you just stated that you haven't performed outside of New England, but you are a professional singer-songwriter sustaining a life here in New England. And that's a beautiful thing, because the comment that I made before we started recording is that there are no big artists in the New England area, and we need to support each other as creators in order for us to make it. And she has made it. She is an independent artist, and that is the thing that she does solely, and that is a beautiful thing. So big up yourself, New England, for showing Ysanne
Yes.
love and giving her that positive energy to say, you know what, I'm going to do this professionally.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to continue that love and show all of our creatives that there is a market for independent artists. So you mentioned that you are a teacher. What do you teach?
So I am a teaching artist. I work at School of Rock. So I teach beginner piano and vocal lessons. But I'm also a yoga instructor as well.
Okay.
I got into yoga because I had scoliosis when I was younger, and then I ended up having a spinal fusion, which like hits like my whole back. So I like move like this. But between the yoga and the teaching artist work that I do, I've been able to like help like health wise in terms of from ages like 5 to like 60, 70 in terms of yoga movement. So it's been really cool to see the impact in that way. And as a teaching artist, working in the schools, it's been so beautiful to see the enlightenment that the kids get and the access and the tools that they get, because sometimes they just don't have access to it. Especially in the arts, the arts is just not in Hartford public school systems anymore, like in other towns. So like they have no art, they have no music in there. So me being an independent like contractor coming in, they're exposed to it. And like some of them already like to draw or already like to do music, but they don't have an outlet at school. So being able to just be someone in the community that's like, hey, this is possible. And just like you said, being able to like be an entrepreneur in this space and having that representation.
That's beautiful.
You know, is so important. So I've been so thankful for that connection, even if it's just a handful of students for that. So that's what I do as a teaching artist. So I have creative workshops that are not only for the youth, but also for adults. So basically workshops that allow you to break down your emotions through the arts. So being able to tap into our senses a little bit more. So pretty much a guided workshop for you to feel that you're an artist, because we all are artists.
Yes, we are.
You know what I'm saying? It's just actually being able to have the opportunity to express and have the tools if you feel that you're lost. So that's what I provide as a teaching artist.
That's cool. Yeah, my daughters, they dance, and they've been in dance since they were, knee-eye to a private eye. And my oldest is 16, and she's about to go off into college next year. And she is a introvert. When you see her on stage, you would never know. Big legs and Jennifer Lopez and those artists don't have anything on it. No shade on those guys. I'm not, just saying that because she's my daughter. But when you embody your art form, you transform into who you are really inside. And I see a difference between her off stage and her on stage, and how she moves and her dance moves. It resonates with the crowd. I've seen people come up to her and cry afterwards because they felt that the dance move that much more. So I implore people out there to go to your workshop, take your workshop. And is it just for kids or is for adults?
So I do have an option for adults as well. Usually it is grant funded for those things, unless you book me for your company or for an organization. I also do professional development as well, especially for teachers, being able to know how to decompress so you don't put your stuff out on the students. That's a real thing. We as teachers are human, so just having those resources, I think, are important to be able to release any emotions or stress as a community together and individually, so we have healthier ways of communicating. Because it's okay to be upset, it's okay to be mad, sad, all the negative emotions it's okay to have. It's just knowing how to manage them so that we aren't harming ourselves or our community. So that's why I really just believe in the creative writing for sure. And if we can teach it to the kids younger, that's great. And us as adults, we need it because we don't have playtime anymore.
We don't.
Yeah.
That's good. I like community unity is an amazing thing, and each one teach one, and we all have to lean on each other, and we have to put the meaning back in the word community. It is something that people, they tend to want to go outside of their comfort zone and go outside of their neighborhood once they quote unquote make it, and that is not right. You should always come back to your origins and always come back and give back to your community, because if you reach back for someone and tell them that it's okay, I was there where you were, and I've am a successful person in society, you can do that too. There is no ceiling for you. The sky is not the limit. The limit is the sky. You can do something more than your current position. Like my parents, just like your parents, are from Jamaica. And when I go to Jamaica, I see my father's humble beginnings, and it is a testament to his resolve and how he approached things, and he didn't have that he had the can-do attitude. He didn't say no. There was no can't in his vocabulary, and to always see where he came from and made it out of that is a mindset that he had. Always stayed positive, always ensured that he had some kind of words of wisdom to partake on somebody else, and I always go back and try to ensure that people that look like me, people that have the same bloodline as me, that their condition is not that condition. It's just something that is a stepping stone, and it'll make you better once you move off. And always give back, always recycle, because if we stay in one generation, the next generation is going to suffer. And they should learn something new in their generation. The previous generation should take some knowledge for them so they can move forward with the proper tools and be successful adults, so we can keep this thing called life and humanity moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's very important for us to be a testimony of our story, So maybe that is through the arts. That's why we're saying it's very important to express yourself through the art. Whether you consider yourself an artist or not, if you have feelings and emotion, you can express it. You're an artist. Just do it. Be that testimony, because you never know who in your space or under your voice may need to hear it. So don't shy away from that.
And I don't shy away
Right.
from that. I fell in love with the arts in 5th grade. We did a play. It was an African-American play. I wrote a Langston Hughes poem. I remember some of it, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it and not finish it. But my school, I went to JES 123 in the Bronx, and a teacher of mine, Miss Bryant, shout out Miss Bryant if you're still around, she made sure that after the curriculum, she would teach us certain things about our story. And given that she gave back to us, she took it upon herself to go outside of the curriculum to take something out of her time to teach us something. It resonated to me, and I'm in my 40s, and I still remember that from in the 4th grade. So anybody out there, if you have something, give it back. If you have a story, tell it. If you want to draw, sketch. If you want to sing, sang. If you want to sculpt. Don't keep it to yourself, because it's a living testament right here of what you can become if you take a chance on yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you remember your first performance?
Yeah, it was was I a I think I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. Well, okay. Yeah, that's my first solo, performance. Everything else, I always grabbed my friends, years before, come on stage with me. They didn't it wasn't their thing, but they supported me. They were my friends. So it was in high school, freshman or sophomore year, and I sang Weak by SWV.
Okay.
And that, it was just great. It was my first, solo, by myself on stage. I had, the cut finger gloves and the bandana and it was just great. SWV, Yeah. And it was beautiful because I actually got into the town newspaper that week. So it was a shot of me. I'm like, oh my goodness, so that was definitely one of my first solo performances.
Okay.
Everything else I grabbed people and I was like, we're Destiny's Child. And Survivor and everything. So
are you an independent artist, or are you signed to a major record label?
I am an independent artist.
Okay.
Yep. So it is a lot of work.
Okay.
Being able to be a creative and manage. Lately I found myself more managing in the last few years of my life, which has me maintain the works that I have out and opportunities. But since I've been able to be full-time now, I've been able to tap back into my creative space so that I can release more music and show my growth in terms of where I'm going.
Okay, you mentioned that you are a songwriter. Have you ever sang a song written by someone else?
Yes, actually. There was one, it was the first time someone's wrote a song for me, which was fine. I didn't mind. I'm I would love to, so that was pretty cool. And we had a whole video for it. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to remember what the title was. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Anyways, Go to my website.
We'll get.
You can go to my website. I had a lot of videos on my YouTube as well.
I'm going to include it into
all
this.
that. All of that.
So you're going to get.
The catalog is long. That's why I can't remember. Okay.
Right. So, is there a process of songwriting? Like you mentioned that somebody wrote the song, that song that you sang that was written by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote it specifically for you. Is there a process of how somebody would approach you? Did they call you first and say, I have an idea, I'm going to write this for you? Or did they write the song first and then presented it to you?
So the one that I was talking about, that one we were kind of like in a studio together, and we ended up just they ended up really like creating a song like, hey, we have this, we think it would sound great. And then recently, actually, I've been reached out to in terms of people booking me to have me sing their songs, just like, here's the service fee to pay, the lyrics are this, pretty much show up and get paid type of thing. So some people have the actual idea already. For me, I'm either in the moment in terms of writing something and then I get the beat, or it could be I'm in the studio creating with someone already. So it really depends on like the moment, space, and time in terms of creating music. But for myself and then anyone that's creating it for me, for the most part, they usually have an idea ready for me.
Okay. So have you recorded all the songs that you've written, or do you have some in a notebook somewhere in the back?
I have some ready to record. I'm in this space where I have the idea and I know the basics of composing, right? So like I do my best and like give the rest to the band type of thing. But I mean, there's so much going in my head. Sorry, what was the question?
The writing. Do you have songs that you
yes. So I have like a lot. That's what I'm working on right now in terms of putting out. So I have more jazz infused lyrics and sounds and movement that I'll be working on. Trying before the end of the year to at least throw out a new single or something. But yeah, I have some stuff in the works.
That's good. You mentioned your parents are Jamaican.
Yes.
Right? Have you ever sang or written any reggae song?
I had performed a couple times with a reggae group in Springfield for the Reggae Festival. So that's always been a whole vibe for me. Like jazz and reggae, I can sing any day and perform. I haven't written one yet. I have some that were like pending and like things happened, industry stuff. But definitely that's on my it's on my to-do list for sure. And like I said, being inspired by New Kingston, which had this unique sound of reggae and jazz together, is so inspiring. So like being able to tap into that sound or that like energy is definitely something I'm looking to do as well.
Have you ever performed in Jamaica?
No, I haven't, but that might be something coming really soon. I actually went out there this past summer with my mom and her friend has connections and just working out, possibly coming back.
So look out for
definitely
her in
Jamaica.
Yeah.
ASAP. Family out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what part of Jamaica are your family?
Portland.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the most beautiful place in Jamaica. The safest place in Jamaica. That's where all of the rich people come to Portland, because that is where all of the mansions and stuff like that are, which is awesome. So, do you have any words of wisdom for my guests?
Just start. Definitely start. And the worst anyone can say is no. So don't let that no stop you. That no might be for right now. It might just not serve you. That no might not serve you, because sometimes we think something is what we want and what we need, and we're expecting a yes. But we might actually need that no. because I think in my experience that no has built me and it has showed me if I really wanted something.
That's true. That's true. I remember a story that Master P told in an interview when he just started. He had his first single, and he brought it to different radio stations, different disc jockeys, and the disc jockey that he brought it to didn't like it. It was out in California, and he said, come back next week with another song. And he came back next week, and it was the same song. And the disc jockey said, it's not going to work. This is California, and that's, different kind of music. I don't think it's going to resonate with the audience. Come back next week with something else. He said he came back next week with the same song, and he did that 3 more times. And this jockey told him, "Hey, I can't play this. This is not going to work." He said, "Listen, if you play it and it don't hit, you will never see me again. But if it does, you never know. Just give me the chance. It just takes 3 minutes." And they played it, and I'm still talking about Master P today,
right?
2024.
Right.
So sometimes a no is good for you to hear, so you know what you are, who you want to be, and where you want to be. And if you hear yes all the time, prepare yourself for disappointment. And somebody tells you no when you way up on the top, it'll be devastating. So fail big, fail amazing, and learn from those experiences, and that will make you the person, artist, songwriter, painter, sculptor that you will be moving forward. Take everything in stride and move with God. So can you tell my audience where they can find your music, websites, and social media handles? Yes,
you can find everything at ysannemusic.com, YSANNE music.com, IG at YSANNE21. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. And on that note, my name is James Dale. This is the beautiful Ysanne, singer, songwriter, all around creative, and I'll see you on the next one.
Smooches.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us next time.